just had a discussion with two Arab Islamic supremacists, and her comment was, "Yet you are trying to blame it on other people, while whites were the ones who made it about race and treated humans like animals." Completely false. Here are their social medias, by the way. This one goes to Kent University. This is a great read, 150 pages on how Arab Islamic slavery was extremely racist and they started it first. Furthermore, the Arabs used Islamic doctrine to portray blackness as a signal for servitude in Arab Muslim thinking, and more importantly, as the basis for racial stratification. Beginning nearly 1,000 years before and lasting centuries after Europeans' transatlantic slave trade. So, as you can see, this racial stratification, viewing black people as animals, began 1,000 years before Europeans started it. So what you're saying is completely false, but what do you expect from an Arab supremacist? Screenshot this quickly and you'll see that the Arabs invented racism in terms of slavery for African people. Many Arab and Islamic supremacists will often say it was religious, not racial. However, this simply wasn't true. It may have started this way, but it certainly wasn't like that in the 9th century. In time, many slaves would be acquired from surrounding African ethnic groups, whether they practice Islam or not. It became common practice for many devout Muslims to refuse to acknowledge African Muslims as true believers if their practice of Islam fell short of accepted Arab-centric norms. As we all know, 10 million white Europeans were enslaved in the Middle East and North Africa, lasting right up until the 1850s by these Arab supremacists, right? They were called Mamluks and the blacks were called Abids. And Abid is still a term used in these Arab racist societies, which is most of the Middle East, even today. During this disgusting piece of history known as the Caliphate, which took over indigenous European and African lands, during this time, it didn't matter if Arabs were non-believers, they couldn't be enslaved. So this further emphasizes my point that Arab slavery was based on race and nothing else. I suggest you read this full dissertation because it's marvelous. It goes to show how racist the Middle East was, and it may explain why so many Arab societies to this day are the most racist in the world.